Hey guys, I was just thinking you should go grab that jar.
Where is it?
In the bathroom. Hey guys, hopefully we're all having a good day. It is a Wednesday. We are back for another Gluestick chat. I'm just going to wait a little bit for people to get on here, but we try to do these every Wednesday now when we have time around 7 p.m. So San and I, he's grabbing something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. We try to sit down and just chat with you guys and do a little Q&A or talk about a certain topic. Tonight I thought I would talk a little bit about something I did an Instagram post on, which is this jar. But we'll get there in a second. I hope you guys are having, oh shoot, yeah, we had some behavior issues tonight. A toddler who I literally was nursing like 2 minutes ago, trying to get her to go to sleep so we could do this.
And we need to figure out our new webcam.
We have a new webcam, but it wasn't working correctly. So we're using the old one, and so we don't have this set up quite how I wanted it to be. So just bear with us, guys. What am I looking for here? But while we're getting this set up, I wanted to ask, so I just posted a Declutter with me video. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you go watch it later. Don't close out of this to go watch it. But I basically got rid of like 60% of the stuff in our storage room. And I also have done a whole house purge and lots of other purging and stuff that you guys will see in upcoming videos. So I would love to know, did you guys work on anything home related over your little break, or do you have any projects coming up in the new year? In this year, I guess it is the new year. Let us know in the comments. I just want to connect with you guys. I'm trying to get it so I can actually see the comments. Okay, awesome. So let us know, guys, what you have been working on, what projects you have. Here we go. Okay. So while you guys are chatting, or commenting about that, I just wanted to quickly talk about this jar. I post about it on Instagram. So if you're not following us on Instagram, I'm at Sarah WLG.
I'm at San WLG.
Okay, so I post lots of like daycare, motivational, working mom tips, just like inspirational, heartfelt, truth, like real life stuff. What do you post?
Most of cooking stuff, lots of smoking, lots of
smoking meats.
The girls. That's really it.
Yeah. So, anyway, so I posted about this little jar yesterday, I think it was, and San and I did this on, was it New Year's Eve?
Day.
No, I think it was New Year's Eve. Yeah. So basically, I had kind of learned about this idea. Thanks, Amy. Hi. I don't know. I've heard about like prayer jars and like manifestation jars and stuff like that before. And so I had watched a YouTube video that talked about this. And so we decided to do it as like a way to bring in the new year. And so basically we took little strips of paper, very simple, and we wrote our goals in present tense. So for example, I weigh blank pounds. You know, I'm just trying to think of examples for anyone. Like, I have this job, and you would obviously give more detail.
I am making this much a month, or
right.
I've paid off this much.
Right, I am debt free. That kind of stuff. So you say it in present tense, and you feel the emotions of having obtained that. And so we went into it with a couple of thoughts of like what we might write. Yeah. But as we got going, like, do you want to describe how it felt and what it was like?
I don't know, like. Release would be a good word, but like you feel like there's like you're just putting it out there.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard to put into words, but it was just this like energy rush we felt, and so we just kept writing and writing and writing more and more, and like
enlightening, I guess.
And we didn't just write stuff for us. We wrote like intentions for family members, like seeing prayers answered for them and stuff like that. And then we wrote on here, everything in here is happening now. Thank you. And so I put it, so the video I watched said to like put it out of sight, out of mind, so you're not thinking about it. But I knew I feel better knowing I can look at it and just remember, like, and trust in God and trust in, you know, my actions and my prayer and the prayer of others, that these things are happening right now. They're in the works. And so we put it in our bathroom linen closet because I'm in there a lot. And so But we don't plan to like go back in here. Maybe, I know, maybe one day
Maybe
we
at the
will.
end of the year.
Maybe, and just see like
happened.
what happened. But I highly encourage you guys to do this, just to put those good vibes out there, to really get clear about your intentions. It's just like a wonderful physical thing you can do to really just motivate yourself and inspire yourself. So I'd highly recommend you guys do that. You don't need anything fancy. We just had this in our storage room, and so yeah, so I just thought that was fun. I thought that would be like a fun little thing to share with you guys. But I just want to thank you guys for hopping on. We have a whole bunch of questions from Instagram and YouTube. We didn't get many on Facebook, but if you have any question you want us to answer, we will try to make sure we answer all of yours that are here right now. So just pop them in the comments, and we're just going to start probably with Instagram questions. So Sam's going to kind of lead the non-daycare questions so that I actually let him get a word in, and I will.
We'll see.
Yeah, so go ahead.
That goes. Let's see. From Instagram, what are you looking forward to most in the new year? I think growing our channel, I think, is what I'm looking forward to, and our business ventures. I just came up with one today, and very, very excited about it.
We'll share more.
We'll share more, I guess, eventually, but just an idea right now. And watching our kids grow, spending more time with the family, and mostly those things. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to time together, growth, and we have a cabin trip planned this summer, and just time with our girls. I've already been thinking about Celia going to kindergarten in 2020. I know that's still a ways away, but I'm like, I only have one more school year with her, so it's like a bittersweet feeling. So yeah, just soaking up the time. I'm looking forward to nice weather that we can actually go outside in, and the light being back, like later in the day eventually. Really looking forward to that. So
now the question is, do we have any health/fitness goals for 2019? That's part one of the. We'll answer that part first. And you want to start this one?
Sure. So yes, I have health and fitness goals. So I stopped doing keto, the keto diet. If you guys don't know, that
I'm not on keto. Period.
Yeah. So I did it for almost 3 months, lost around 20 pounds. I got off of it for Christmas, and now I restarted today, but did not do very well. So basically restarting again tomorrow, but I want to lose another like 10 to 20 pounds. 10 no matter what. If I can keep going for 15 to 20, that would be amazing. But that's my goal. And just, I want to make exercise more of a habit, especially in the nicer months. And just feel good.
Yeah. What about you? Right now, I am, they call it bulking. I'm trying to gain strength and build some muscle, and I plan on doing that until March. And then from March until May, I'll go in the cutting phase, getting ready for, summer. Wouldn't be a jacked-looking dad, mowing the lawn, whatever.
What do you do for guys? You don't do that.
That Asian eye candy that Sarah keeps talking about, But yeah, other than that, having a better, relationship with food, that's always a thing for me, because I connect a lot of emotions with food and eating, so I'm working on that. And just being a better role model for our kids and our family members too, just to be fit and try to be active as much as possible.
Up with them.
So, hi Robin, hi Cynthia, how are you guys?
Hi Kathy. Kathy asked, how did you two meet?
High school.
Well, elementary school.
Elementary school.
Yeah.
It's a
long. We've known each other.
Yeah.
I don't remember me.
We actually were talking about this. We did a 12 years celebrating 12 years together. If you guys type that in.
A year ago.
And we kind of talk about how we got together and stuff like that. So it's a really long conversation to have.
We've known each other
for a really long time. Yeah. So yeah. Word for 2019. She shared this on her Patreon, and it's,
no, I shared it in our first
live
Gluestick chat.
Was it?
Yeah. So my word is bloom. I'm reading Cultivate by Laura Casey. I'm doing the power sheets by her, and she's very into gardening and stuff like that. So, but I just was thinking about how I feel like I have all these seeds planted in my life, in so many different areas that I've planted them, and I've just been like waiting for a lot of them to sprout and to bloom. And so that's really my intention for this year, is to dive deeper into these things and do more, and be more intentional, like help our marriage bloom, my relationship with my kids, our YouTube channel, my daycare, like relationships with the kids, so many things. Like I'm ready to see them like flourish and bloom and whatever. Do you have a word?
I haven't really thought about a word. I just want to actually stay true to I think my fitness goals more than anything. Because like this past couple of years, I've kind of been like, shooting the breeze with what I want to do with like my like how I want to look and stuff like. But now I actually have a plan, and I'm gonna stick to it, and we'll see where it takes me. Right now, I don't want to be like a bodybuilder by any means, but I do want to feel better in my body and my skin. And I think I'm gonna make that happen this year.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep yawning.
Yeah, I do too. I'm tired.
First day back.
Yeah. Next question is. Let's check the comments. Let's see.
Cynthia's word is release.
Love for all. Hello.
I love that.
Been decluttering all day. Caitlin says that's great.
Well, I'm glad. My video is inspiring. I'm really excited because it felt so good. Like I just kept going in there and like looking at the storage.
Let's see. When do you make time for major deep cleans in your house?
This is hard for me to answer. So I feel like I clean all the time, and I don't get anywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm constantly re-cleaning the exact same spaces. I don't get to the deep stuff very often. I'm trying to figure out a good routine for that. Like the oven and the fridge. The fridge I do when I just can't stand it any longer. The oven, I honestly am a person who hates cleaning like that. Like I just hate it.
Walls and floors
and like deep cleaning
curtains.
Showers. I hate it.
With like the fridge, it's like we were constantly like emptying it and then filling it back up. So it's like we actually
need I'm spot cleaning
set a time to be like, all right, take everything out and clean all of it.
Yeah, I probably do it twice a year. I mean, that's probably about how often it happens. The oven, it's probably been over a year.
It needs to happen.
I don't ever feel like I have the ability to do a full house deep clean because I constantly have a 1-year-old who will not leave me alone. So I guess during nap I could on the weekend, but I try to do YouTube videos and stuff like that. So, I mean, our house overall, I would say, is a clean house. Do I deep clean like certain areas as much as I should? Maybe not, but I try to work it in when I just feel like it. Like I'll clean the cabinet fronts when I notice it one day. Like I don't really have a good routine for it because I just hate it. And I've tried to have a routine, and honestly, it just doesn't happen because I hate it.
Because we have kids all the time in this house, 24/7. We're constantly picking up after them, and we're always wiping things down.
Daily.
So it's like
I sweep. I steam
the things that you see are always going to be
always clean.
But with the deep cleaning stuff is kind of just like.
I'm upfront about it. We do have a cleaning lady come every other week on Saturday mornings to get our house to like a set place, because it's never all clean at once, because I just, I'm constantly cleaning certain areas, but it's rarely all clean and sparkly and smelling nice at one time. And so she like resets the house, and then I do my best to maintain it. And sometimes I will have her do like some of the deeper stuff if it needs it. But anyway, so that's
Sarah, how do you advertise for daycare?
So I have a whole video on this if you guys haven't seen how I advertise, but that gives like a bazillion ways. But basically,
Facebook
locally we have a Facebook group, word of mouth,
church.
Church has referred
like, there's
me.
Probably other like
Craigslist, stuff like that.
Groups that aren't those things that you can post on, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
like
I mean every area, and like we have a local childcare like association we can advertise on. But yeah, that's basically it.
Let's see. Anything in the comments?
Amy said, I decluttered my daughter's old clothes and some toys during my Christmas break. First day back at her home daycare, and it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I had my first day back. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Besides Celia jumping off the table and smacking her head and getting a bloody nose.
Good times.
That was in the first half an hour. Just like, oh my gosh.
Let's see.
How
How do you keep track of time when child comes and goes?
Oh, like for daycare. I don't really keep track of times. I don't have any kids on like childcare assistance, and we don't have to for licensing. So I just don't really keep track of that. I know like Brightwheel, I think, has a really good app for in and out, and KidCare might as well. I would probably just do sign-in sheets. So if I had to, and make the parents do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we're both.
Yeah. Does Bryony eat what you feed the daycare kids?
Yes,
absolutely. I've talked a lot about picky eaters and stuff like that in videos and received mixed feedback, but I just feel like stuff like that, everybody has their opinions. But
yeah,
our kids, like today, my daughter Celia is, I would say, overall a pretty picky eater. She does not like homemade mac and cheese. Well, what did I make today for lunch? Instant pot mac and cheese, which is delicious, which was one of the reasons why I didn't do so well on keto today. Probably not the best decision. And I made carrots with hummus and pineapple. Did she eat one bite? Nope. Did I make her something else? Nope. Did she have to wait till snack? Yes. I am not a short order cook, and does it keep her from being picky? No, but maybe one day she will be hungry enough.
Bryony will eat everything.
Bryony will scream for what you have if you don't give her what the other kids have.
It's embarrassing, especially in restaurants. Like, on New Year's Day, it was I was so embarrassed, but like Sarah said, nobody really paid attention. But I'm like, come on, they can't.
She just
how can you
wants
not
what
hear
everybody else
squawking?
has. But yes, so she does. The baby I have right now eats basically what we eat, you know, like she doesn't get raw carrots, but she gets like, I'll cook them or whatever. But so
why do you keep scrolling up like that?
I don't know.
It's hard to see.
Sorry, we're trying to see the comments.
Let's see. Hi, Lenora. Hello, Jennifer. Hi, Lisa. Hello, Erica. How are you guys? Happy New Year. It says, let's see. When your girls are both in full-time school, will you continue to do daycare?
I've answered this. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing 2 years from now, much less
6 months from now.
5 years from now.
Yeah.
Plus, we hope to have another child one day, not anytime soon. So that just feels so far away. I don't really know where life is going to take me.
Keto
videos, easy meal ideas. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you do a video on childcare subsidies and state aid? What do you mean by that? I don't really take
like
a
tax
lot.
cuts or like assistance
programs. Assistance. It's so hard when a lot of people have asked me about like, do a video on licensing or do a video on, grants, and it's so hard because it's all very area specific.
It's different, and like there's each state has like a whole list of resources to reach out to, and it's very
right. And I don't want to ever put information out there and it be wrong for somebody.
That's the last thing we want is to lead you guys somewhere to like a dead end, Yeah.
So I'm not very good. Does it cost more to be on keto? No, I don't think so.
Not really. It depends, because there's a side of the coin where a lot of people will try to keto-fy every single thing, and almond flour is expensive.
Yeah, if you try
eating almonds is expensive.
So if you're trying to like make your own keto baked goods or keto tortillas, I don't eat that stuff.
But if you stick to just like the meats, the fats, like dark leafy greens, it's pretty affordable.
I don't notice it being any more expensive.
Right, unless, like you said, you buy like a boatload of almond flour. You buy we buy Kerrygold, but we get it at Aldi, which is a very fair price.
Erythritol. That's expensive, but we don't buy that. I don't. I've never made a keto baked good.
Right. So we just look for low carb options and menu stuff
that aren't processed. Like we're not doing like he does low carb tortillas sometimes.
It depends.
I don't eat them. Like tonight we had breakfast for supper. I had cheesy eggs with sausage. I did eat a hash brown patty because I couldn't help myself, but that's not keto.
Let's see what else is there. I'm struggling. My last 2 spots, I currently have 4 first shift, 1 second shift, 1 swing shift. The long days drive me crazy. Any advice on which
Way to go,
No,
shift
shift-wise.
wise. That's Jennifer. I don't know. Honestly, it's so hard. Like I'm having trouble filling a couple spots right now. Our town is just like having trouble. I think it's just the current season, but the way I see daycare, and this, you know, is a very area specific thing, but I say pick what works best for your family and wait it out. You know, like if you try to cater to everybody, you're going to get burnt out, and that's not going to do anybody any good.
Right.
You know, for me, would other families love me to be open till like 9 p.m.? Of course, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be good for my family. I'd never leave the house
like
ever more than I already do.
Business.
Yeah. And so I know some people do that, but for me personally, I had to think of my family, what hours work best for me, and then wait for the families to come, you know?
Yeah. Do you interact with other providers in the area? I mean,
yes.
Once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, I have some provider friends. Like we chat a lot in groups and stuff, and we've gotten together. I'm really grateful to have like other provider friends to ask questions, and they really, really helped when I first started.
Yeah, because it feels it can be very
and
isolating.
You don't know, and yeah, it's hard because like you run into obstacles, and you don't know if anybody else deals with the same thing because you're by yourself. It's just nice that
you're able to relate to other people, like, and say things like blah blah blah. This happened. How about you guys? Yeah, that would be the other day.
Yeah, so get advice and get like pumped up about stuff and like this. You know, don't feel bad about that. Right. You did the right thing. Right. You know, stuff like that it's so helpful to have friends in the same business.
What sweets do you eat on keto? I'm on day 2 and have been craving sweets and have nothing. Okay, so.
I'm not a good one to ask.
So when I was digging deep into the keto thing, you kind of have to like pick your battles on this one, because if you're like Sarah, you hate the taste of artificial sweeteners or I don't stevia, because some stevia has like weird aftertaste, some don't. Yeah. There are ways, I'm sure there's a lot of things you can look up for keto sweets. If you can find it, there's a Lily's chocolate bar. It's sweetened with Truvia or stevia. However, it is like almost $5 a bar. So that can get added pretty quick. And I know a lot of people that do keto like.
What about Quest bars? Are those keto?
Quest bars are more of a protein thing. They're not that sweet.
But they're slightly sweet.
They're a little sweet,
and are they low carb?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They are. Other than that, people have learned to just kind of get over the sweet aspect.
Well, we used to make this keto hot chocolate.
Yeah, but it was okay. Like a lot of different ingredients.
Right, but if you have a sweet tooth, that might be one thing to do. For me personally, when it comes to cravings, I crave savory so much more than I do sweet. That's why I love the keto diet, because I can still indulge in like ranch and like cheese and eggs and sausage and like I don't have to give up the things that I crave. So that's a hard thing if you are really big sweets. I would say just stick with it. You'll get over those cravings. I'm pretty sure. Like I notice when I eat pasta, I crave more pasta. So I have like today? Why did I eat some of the mac and cheese? Because I haven't been on keto for a week. But had I been on keto, I could have resisted that because I wasn't craving it because I haven't been eating it. So if you cut out the sugar for a while and just ignore the cravings or find your own replacement, don't overdo it. But I firmly believe you will get those cravings will subside.
Yeah, she said she's going to buy Lily bars, so there you go. I like them. They're very good. Anyway.
Okay. Would you share with us your time off within the year? What do you mean by that? Like how many days?
Sarah and I plan our days off for the upcoming calendar year. We sit down and hash it out. Then I have to go back and look at all of my banquets and stuff because we have projections that come out only at chunks at a time. So it gets really tricky, but we plan it out a year in advance.
Yeah, I plan all my days off. I honestly took a few more days off than I have in the past. So I do 15 paid days plus holidays, and then I can do unlimited unpaid days. And I took a few more unpaid days this year to work on record keeping. I did 4 unpaid days for record keeping because just have not been able to stay on top of it. And but I give it to parents so far in advance, and they're unpaid, so it's like, yeah, it sucks that they can't just drop their child off here, but you don't pay me and you take your child somewhere else for that day, and I can stay on top of record keeping. Right. To me, it's a win.
Do you allow children to bring their own food from home? We have one family that provides,
well, for an infant, homemade baby food, right. You know, if a parent really wanted to, I wouldn't be against it.
I think what we talked about was, I think you said if there's a dietary restriction.
If a child had, like, could not eat gluten, for example, I would probably have parents provide at least a portion of the meal, maybe the entree, because I follow the food program recommendations. I'm not on the food program currently, but there is gluten in almost every meal. And so to try to figure that out for one child would be really hard. But for example, I have a family who doesn't eat pork. That's a pretty easy thing for me to either, if we're having something with pork, just give cottage cheese or something instead.
They don't get that piece of whatever it is.
Right. Or I will buy the, for pepperoni, I'll buy the turkey version. Or today we had beef hot dogs instead of, pork hot dogs. So that's not too hard. But if a family had a really strict dietary restriction, I would probably have them bring. But in general, I would prefer they don't, so that I don't have to deal with the meltdowns on either side of it, like the kid who brought their meal and don't like it and want what we're having, or the kids who are eating what I'm having but want the other kids. I just think
there's a lot of ways around, just especially now that gluten-free has been this. So since gluten-free has kind of become a prominent allergen, there's a lot of companies that make gluten-free options now, like gluten-free pastas, gluten-free cookies, bars, etc. So that's a lot easier to accommodate, but
to some extent, but I'd have to totally change my shopping, and I don't know. Okay, let's see. Here, let's see if there's any non-daycare ones for a second. So,
keto.
How do you balance? What are you looking at? I was gonna. Have we done this?
No.
How do you balance work life from home life? Schedule vacation time away from home, daycare. How do you balance work life and home life? Well, that's kind of what my channel's all about. It's hard, It's hard. It's a.
Excuse me.
I don't know. My work life and my home life are one and the same in a lot of ways.
And when it's my day off, it's technically not a day off
because I'm here with the kids, yeah.
But I guess to balance that is the way our house is, it's multi-level, so the daycare is down below, and where we are now is the main living space. So the kids will go down there and do the activities, and I'll be up here cleaning, cooking, pulling laundry, or whatever. So that's how we keep it separated.
But how do I balance? I schedule days off. I hate taking days off? Yes, to some degree, but at the same time, I know I need them. I look forward to them. A lot of them, I don't even have anything planned yet. I mean, I will plan it, but I just plan them so that I know, okay, that's a day off. That's, I have a 3-day weekend that weekend, so it's mentally regroup. Yes, because when you're giving, it is draining.
And especially when some kids are harder than others and they're screaming a lot. On top of our kids screaming a lot. I'm not even here every day, and it's draining. It's hard.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie about it, but that's why I know what I need and I plan accordingly. And I don't know. I don't balance anything. I just do my best. And how do I balance it? I'm up at 4 a.m. and I'm working on stuff that fills me up. I'm working on editing videos that I enjoy doing. I spend 45 minutes doing my miracle morning. That's just for me. Nobody else. When Celia comes down and wants to interrupt me, I send her back to her room and I say, it's mama time. And that's how I balance. I put myself first so that I can, give to everybody else throughout the day. I don't know. Okay.
In the comments, or you want to?
Let's see, maybe this one.
Okay. Sam, did you always want to be a chef? Miss Tinkerbell 83. No, actually, I wanted. Well, first, my parents were trying to make me become a doctor, which is not my cup of tea.
No.
And then I thought about like business. That didn't that didn't make me too happy.
Good at it, but yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, like I think when the Food Network boom happened, which was like I don't know, early 2000s and stuff like that, when like the food and just like the food and foodie culture and blah 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 like boomed, that's when I kind of was like, all right, I can do that. I originally wanted to become like a pastry chef, make like awesome wedding cakes and all this stuff like that.
He
and
went to school.
Went to school for pastry
he has
and bakery.
A pastry degree or whatever.
Certified pastry chef.
Whatever.
But anyway, it didn't make me happy to bake for other people. I took a really crappy internship because I felt like I wasn't going to live up to my own expectations or the place's expectations, so I played it safe and went to work for a cupcake place for like not even a year, and they let me go on my birthday, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Which is
but
probably
a blessing.
It's probably a blessing in disguise because I eventually had to dabble into actual real cooking. I started working in a pizza shop, then I got into a burger place, and then I finally got my foot in at a hotel, and then the rest is history. So, and right now I am like, doing really well.
He's doing really well
as a sous chef. Yeah, so, and I'm loving it. So, hoping for the best.
Yeah, well, without saying too much. Okay. Oh, so you need to watch Burger.
I've seen it.
Saw it.
I thought it was great, Lisa.
Okay. I don't know. Let's see.
You've answered keto questions a lot.
Okay. How do you handle teaching multi-age children? I have toddlers, and they like to get into things while I'm working with the preschoolers. Oh, girl. If you could have seen this afternoon when I tried to do centers, I promised the kids if they all were good during nap, we'd get to do centers, because you all should know, if you're a daycare provider, stay back after a long break. You just never know what hand you're going to get dealt. And so I was like, Sarah needs nap time. We need to get us back to our routine. Anyway, they all did really good during nap, so we got to do centers. So I set up coloring, and then we had like cars and little people and a dollhouse. Then we had baby dolls and scarves. And Bryony was losing her beep because she wanted to color so bad, but she's just like, I tried to let her, and she just kept screaming and screaming, and parents were trying to pick up, and I was just like, I looked like I got hit by a bus. Like, I was just like, it was just chaotic. So how do I handle it? I normally do that when they're sleeping, and I pray and pray that the little ones take 2 naps for a long time, because I've had 1-year-olds who are great, who can like be involved in the crafts and are okay if like you say they can't have scissors and you give them something else. And then I have children like our Bryony who have to do what everybody else is doing with like full gusto, pedal to the metal. And if you say no or like take away the scissors, they lose their cool. So I have heard people like put a toddler in the high chair and give them snacks while you're teaching the little ones. Do something special. I've tried doing, I haven't done that, but I've tried giving like Bryony something special, but she always thinks what's special is what everybody else has. So she doesn't like it.
Food too. If she doesn't have it, or you have,
she will scream.
She'll want it again and again.
She will scream.
So yeah. So
it really depends, and you just pray that they take 2 naps. This one?
Yep.
How did you decide on your girls' names? So, okay.
In a nutshell.
Okay. Celia, I have absolutely no idea. We just liked that name for many, many years. Celia Ray. It was going to be Celia Ray, which, all our names come from movies, one intentionally, one unintentionally. So Celia Ray is in The Help, which I had seen, but we had that name picked out long before I'd ever seen that. So I love how it sounds like old fashioned, like old Hollywood, almost just like this beautiful name. Means heaven, and Ray in Scottish means grace. And it's also connected to my family history from the Scottish heritage. The clan that we come from is the McRae clan. So that's cool. Anyway, Bryony is from the movie Atonement, which we saw when I was in college. So like 2009, maybe. I don't know when
Mhm.
it came out, like 2009, 2010. We probably saw the movie. We hated that character,
Mhm.
but we liked her name. And when we found out that Bryony was a girl, we had the boy name like locked down, you know, gonna be this. And then we found out she was a girl and we were gonna do Gwen.
Mhm.
Well, I like Guinevere, but I don't like the traditional spelling of it. And I'm an English major, so it bothered me that I would do it in untraditional spelling.
Mhm.
Anyway, and I didn't want just Gwen. And we just couldn't really decide on Eden. And so we, that's funny. So I just said it has to end in a Y. Like, I just feel like it has to end in a Y. And Stan reminded me of the name Bryony, which we liked, and it just stuck. I don't really know. It means like a white flowering vine. It's like it was used in folk medicine and stuff like that. I don't know. I just think it's really pretty botanical name. Okay. Do you have anything to add to that?
Oh yeah.
It's like, what do you think?
Sorry, we
He's
just
blocking
had some
people.
fun comments. Yeah, I just threw it out there one day. I'm like, what about Bryony? And she had to think about it for a second, and it took us a minute to fully understand it. But like she said, it's from Atonement, but we didn't put that together until we had fully decided on it, right?
What?
But that Bryony and Celia.
Well, yeah. So we learned, I think after Bryony was born, we're reading about the name Bryony again, because I still like to look into names. And the sister in the movie and book Atonement is named Cecilia. So I thought that was funny that they're sisters, Cecilia and Bryony. We have Celia and Bryony.
So, and people call her Brian. You know,
we did not anticipate how hard it would be for people to pronounce her name.
My full name is incredibly hard to say, and our last name, but man, I never thought our daughter would have such an issue too.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see. So somebody asked, how do you do taxes for your business? I don't want to plug this too much, but over on our Patreon, if you guys are ever interested, for $5 a month, you get 3 recipes that San has created, and we've put together these really awesome printables for kids and daycares. And then for another $5, you get a live Q&A with me over there that I talk just about daycare topics. And this month in particular, I'm going to be going like really in detail about record keeping and taxes and how I organize it all. I do plan to do little videos here and there on these topics, but for a full-blown live Q&A, you can ask me questions while I'm talking about it. That's over on our Patreon. It's just way too much information to try to go into here, but I just wanted to let you guys know that if you're ever interested. But moving on.
Hi, Brandy. Yeah, that's all right. Kim. Yeah.
North Carolina. Let's see.
Something else.
People have asked me about assistants, like having an assistant work with me, and I don't, so I can't really give advice on it. But you know, in some ways, I think it would be nice. But I can see where it could be a major headache when it comes to taxes and payments and the record keeping, and what if they are sick and you have to have them for your ratios and stuff like that. I can't really speak on it because I've never had somebody, but do you give parents a daily report for their kids? And if so, when do you find time to get that written up in the midst of caring for kids? So I only do that for infants. And I would consider doing it for an older child for like a week or 2 if they were new, because it's pretty much going to say the exact same thing every day. But for infants, I do, so parents can see like how much they ate during their bottle feeds and what foods they tried and naps and all that, diapers. And I have it like sitting on, if you guys have seen our tour, I set it, the paper, I do it by hand. I set it on top of our lockers because it's like a good place for me to just write. And it's right above that baby's locker. And I just fill it out as the day goes on. But I would have a really hard time keeping up with it for all the kids. I would probably use an app like Bright Wheel if I was going to do it for all the kids. But I just think it's unnecessary. What I do instead, like I have a private Facebook group, and I post pictures of what we did as a group, like what we talked about, what craft we did, you know, some pictures of them playing and stuff like that. And I give a little description of what we did. And then I say what we had for lunch with a picture. And that way they know what we did. And then, you know, if there's anything specific, I just talk to the parents at pickup. But most of the days there's not much to say. So I'm not going to say like they peed at this time when they're potty trained. Like,
yeah.
I just think it's redundant.
Lenora asked, do you ever do a substitute?
Yeah, so I've used a substitute, especially when I was pregnant with Bryony. I used one every time I had an appointment. At least here they can get a little expensive. Like when I went to go volunteer in Celia's classroom for like 2.5 hours, I had to pay $75 for a sub. So
but you know,
it was worth it to
Celia
me.
won't forget that,
right? Know? But you know that there is a trade-off.
Up.
Sometimes he has watched the kids, like so I could take Celia to the dentist, or if I had an appointment, that's the best option for us because it's free, and he knows the kids, and I just feel better about it. Yeah. But I have used a sub in the past, and I think
it makes sense.
Worth their weight in gold.
It works well
sure.
if like your husband has random off days like I do, so that way you don't have to pay the sub.
Yeah, or if he works, I'll try to schedule stuff for in the afternoon. So he'll work and then come home. Yeah. And then he'll take over after like nap or snack, and then I'll leave for whatever it is. So
but that's definitely recommend a sub.
Yeah, I
if
think,
you can.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. How do you deal with tantrums and hitting and biting and disobedience? It depends on the child a lot. I will say I deal with it more with my own children than anybody else's, for sure. And you know, for me, it really depends on the child. What works for some kids doesn't work for other kids. And so like for my Celia, separating works pretty well. Like saying you're going to play over here because you cannot handle playing with everybody else right now. Yeah. And we've done like incentives, I guess, or like, you know, earning stickers for behavior and stuff like that with her. I do 1, 2, 3 magic. So, you know, I say that's 1. If they do something negative, that's 2. And then 3 is like they're removed from the group, or they get the toy taken away, or whatever it may be.
Usually like separating them, depending on how severe whatever it was happened, seems to help.
Yeah, most of the time when I tell the kids, like I do the 1, 2, and if they're just like out of control or something, I'll be like, you need to go calm down on the steps, and when you're ready to come back, you can walk in. And the older 3 and 4s, they get that. Like they go sit down, and then they realize like, okay, I'm not going to get away with that behavior, so they come back. Yeah. With like biting, that's a whole other ball game, because especially if they're like 1 year old and biting, that's where like they know better, but they're more just like seeing, you know, what reaction they can get.
And thankfully, you know, knock on wood, we haven't dealt with biting too much, you know, because that's scary.
But I think you pretty much have to separate them
for the rest.
It's so hard. And I know in Minnesota they really crack down on like people getting correction orders and stuff for kids biting, even if they're on your lap. Like it's just so hard.
Yeah,
so
some daycare centers like take that to the utmost. Like they hold up there really high if a kid gets bit. I know that like somebody we know, like her kid bit another kid, and they made a huge deal out of it. Which I'm not putting it down that it isn't, but but
it is a normal behavior.
Yes.
That's where it's so hard. Like you don't want it to happen. You feel horrible, but at the same time, it is quote unquote a normal behavior. So, but
and some kids have a better time expressing what they want other kids to do. Like, please go away from me. I don't. I want space. You know, and like she said, like when they're a certain age, for example, Celia just started yanking hair.
Yeah, when she
was
one.
Terrifying. Have you ever seen that? It's terrifying.
She wasn't even mad. She would just do it out of nowhere.
Like 2, and then
not even. I think she was 1.
And like, it was scary, and it's like she knows she.
Yeah, or she would get really angry out of nowhere and just do it. Yeah,
you know, it's their kids.
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard. I think just each child is take it. Okay, so I think we're gonna wrap it up. If you guys have any other last questions,
you keep scrolling.
Just want to make sure we got most of these here.
Yeah. They want you to watch Bird Box.
Okay. Well, you have to go,
Yeah.
but I just want to make sure I'll answer a couple more while I wait. But you guys are here.
Bye, guys.
Say bye to Stan. Sarah, do you have any hobbies that you like to do, and are you able to find time for them? I would say planning. Bye, baby. I love you. I would say planning is one of my hobbies, and I do it weekly. I don't know if that's a really lame hobby. YouTube, I feel like, is a hobby / business. I love doing it. I find time for it early in the morning, on the weekends, that kind of thing. Organizing, like all the stuff I talk about on our channel is like my hobby. I like helping people. I like sharing. I like editing videos. I like filming videos, like organizing. Other than that, like I don't like knit or crochet. I was a photographer in the past. I do like photography. I don't really make the time for it like I did when Celia was really little and I could. But that is something I do love. I don't really ever do it anymore. I just find it a lot of work. But let's see. I just want to make sure I got to pretty much everything. Well, let me know, guys. Do you like these chats? Do you want us to keep doing like Q&As? Do you want them to be more focused? Are there any topics you guys want us to cover for these? Just write them in the comments. We could do more, because we do a lot of videos, but I think it's really fun to actually be talking to you directly, engaging with you one-on-one. So if you want me to do more like topic-based weekly chats, I could definitely do that. If you just like this Q&A style, like commenting, talking with each other, answering questions, we can keep doing that, or maybe a mixture. Let me know what you guys like, and I will try to keep doing. Asked in your recent video, you said you were once a teacher. Would you ever go back? Real answer is probably not. But perhaps. I was a middle school English teacher. I don't foresee myself ever going back to that in particular, but I could see myself maybe tutoring or working in the school in some way. I think if I had to do it again, I probably would have gone for elementary. I think that would have been better suited for my personality and demeanor and everything. I just think I wasn't as equipped for the older ages as I thought I was. But yeah, so I don't know. But I love teaching through YouTube and teaching little kids and stuff like that. So I feel like I still use a lot of it, just in different ways. And I am so introverted. Like, it's just funny to me that I do this and I talk to so many people, but to me it's like I'm by myself, but I'm with you guys. So it's like an introvert's dream for teaching, I guess you could say. But yeah. Lenora asked, how scared was making your first video? I don't even really honestly remember my first video. I think my first video was a planner video. And I don't remember being that nervous about it. I just like sharing. I just like sharing. So I don't think it was that nerve-wracking. Like I said, like I like it because I feel like I can be authentically me in a way I can't be when everybody's actually around me. Because I'm worried, like, oh, that person looked at me in a certain way. Are they judging? And, stuff like that. I don't have those thoughts and feelings when I'm just talking to a camera, but I know there's other people on the other end. And that's why I like this, because you guys can still engage, but I can block comments if I need. And I don't know. It's like the best of both worlds to me. So anyway, it looks like you guys seem to like these Q&As. If I come up with a topic, I will let you guys know. But if you want to make sure you know when these videos will be, I'm going to try to schedule them in advance. I just keep forgetting to do that till like 6:30 our time. But we plan to be back pretty much every Wednesday this month. If it changes, I will let you know on our community tab, which should pop up in your subscriptions feed on YouTube. And I will say it on Facebook as well as Instagram so that hopefully you guys will know. But I like to ask some questions in advance. So I take some from Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, just so that if it's like crickets at first, I have questions to answer and things to talk about rather than just sitting here and feeling dumb. So anyway, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your night to spend a little time with us. I really appreciate you guys, and I look forward to these chats all day. I just love them. I'm really glad we started doing them. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you guys have had a great start to your new year, and I'm just so grateful for you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and a great weekend. Bye, guys.